Glad to welcome the IAS officer Thavaseelan, who is a 2007 graduate from Electrical and Electronics Engineering. Thank you for joining us today, Thavaseelan. How are you?
Thank you, Shweta. It's a pleasure to be on the show. I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. Thank you. Thanks a lot. It's a pleasure to host you today. Let's move to another segment called an Inspiration Corner, where we would like to know your recommendations for the benefit of the larger audience. What's your favorite book that you would recommend?
I think Atomic Habits by James Clear. I think that's been a very fascinating read for me. I mean, how he talks about sort of splitting everything into smaller portions and then sort of attacking them. It's been a very inspirational book that way. I mean, something that you've known all along. It's sort of put together in a single place. You get to sort of recollect everything. So that's been a very inspirational book. Yeah.
A, a podcast you'd like to listen?
Podcast, I think TRS clips by Ranveer Alhabadia. I think he talks a lot about. I mean, he brings in a lot of speakers who touch upon spirituality, and I think that's something that's fascinating. I mean, not just that. I mean, religion, spirituality, and a whole host of other topics. But then I think I've enjoyed the conversations he's had with a host of people. TRS clips by Ranveer Alhabadia. Yeah.
Okay. A movie or a documentary?
I think The Pursuit of Happiness, Will Smith.
All right.
I think
An amazing.
been quite I mean it just sort of blows you when you see the first time someone against all odds just keeps persisting and then hits it out of the park. So I think that's been a very inspirational movie. Yeah.
Okay. A favorite speech, like a TED Talk?
I think I'd go with Steve Jobs' commencement speech at Stanford in 2005.
Okay.
That would be my personal favorite of all times. I mean, where he talks about I mean, you cannot connect the dots. Looking forward, it's all backwards. I think that's been I mean that's been one speech that I keep going back to for inspiration. Yeah.
Okay. People whom you look up to, it could be more than one. It could be an entrepreneur, it could be a leader, anyone.
I think my own uncle, he is a retired IAS officer. I think the kind of work he's done for the people during his tenure, I've observed him in very close quarters. So he's been an inspiration all through. And I would also talk about, Elon Musk. I think one thing that you sort of, that the more you read about him, the kind of sacrifices he's done. I mean, when you go back to 2008 when Tesla was on the brink of bankruptcy, and then this man sits in the factory floor and sleeps there for days together trying to fix production issues, and then the kind of hard work that one can put in. I mean, the amount of effort that he's put in, and then the way God's rewarded him, or life has rewarded him. I think that's been quite an inspiration. I mean, sort of, hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. So you have a man here who's sort of, just been putting in the effort without worrying about the consequences. And no wonder he's the only human on earth to ever have had a net worth north of $300 billion. So I think that's there. Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah. So even I like Elon Musk, but I haven't read a lot about him, but he's definitely one of my inspiration. That's a wrap. That's about the inspiration corner. So I've got so could you tell us a little about where you're currently posted and about your professional career?
Sure. So I work in Nagaland, Shweta. I'm a 2012 batch IAS officer. So after my engineering, I went to Ahmedabad, was there for finished my MBA, and then I was working for 3 years while I wrote the UPSC. Cleared UPSC, quit my private sector job and joined the IAS 3 days later. So that's my professional journey in short. So been working in Nagaland ever since, so the 2013-14. Been about 11, 12 years in the service and also in Nagaland. So I'm currently posted as the Principal Director of School Education, which is the head of department of the Department of School Education, as well as I'm the Project Director of a World Bank funded project also in the School Education Department. And I'm the CEO of the State Health Authority. We call it the Nagaland Health Protection Society. So I hold 3 charges right now in the government of Nagaland. Yes. So that's exactly about me. Yeah.
That's very interesting to know. So did you like the private sector a lot, or do you enjoy your work as an IAS officer?
I think I enjoyed both because I mean they're two very different ball games. I mean the experiences, both of them are very dear to me. I can't say that there's only I only like what I'm doing right now, and I did not enjoy what I was doing in the private sector. That would not be appropriate. I enjoyed both. That'd be my short answer. Yeah.
Okay. So you posted in Nagaland, which is culturally rich, yet there are some lot of challenges considering the political, socio-economic dynamics of Nagaland. What are the major challenges that you face, and how does a day look like as an IAS in Nagaland?
Sure. So, Nagaland, there used to be issues here. I mean, there were concerns in the past. There were insurgent groups operating in the state, but that's a thing of the past. The state has enjoyed a relative period of calm for about 2 decades now. I mean, there no longer issues associated. I mean, the things that were associated with Nagaland in the past are no longer situations that are critical. The state has seen tremendous development. Of course, I mean when we compare it to a state in South India or any of the other states, I mean in Central India, UP, Bihar, the state lags behind a bit on the developmental front, but then it is making rapid strides. So socially, culturally, it's very different from our state, Tamil Nadu. But then I think people here are extremely hospitable. Once they know that you're here to work for them, they stand by you and they support you. That's a distinguishing feature of people here, and it's been a very it's been an excellent 10 years working for the people of Nagaland, and thoroughly enjoyed every single minute. I've been posted in multiple districts. I was collector in a district for almost 5 years straight. So I think it's been very enriching, very heartening, because a place like this, there's a lot more that needs to be done. The amount of effort that you need to move the needle is not as high as compared to states like Tamil Nadu or Karnataka, where a lot of work has already happened. That way is the kind of contribution that one can make in Nagaland is immense, and tremendous potential for a lot of good work. And I mean, you talked about a day in the life of an IAS officer. So there's no fixed day, a fixed schedule per se. I mean, there's office work. A lot of works keeps coming in. So you don't have a fixed schedule per se, but then it's broadly the three offices that I hold, matters relating to it at any given time. But then you can't segment it into okay. So on a particular day, there might be a lot of work in the principal director school education's office. Another day, I might be completely dedicating it to the state health authority. So it's I can't sort of define a structure to my day. So that's how it is.
I'm sure you're enjoying your days at Nagaland because you've got a lot to do as well. Like, a lot of
Absolutely. It's plenty of work. Yeah.
So, are there any interesting traditions that you love about the Nagaland people? Because I think there is a HornBIll festival, which is
Correct.
not known to much of the people. But are there any other traditions apart from that which you love the most?
I mean, so the Hornbill Festival that you talked about happens between the 1st and 10th of December. It's a 10-day festival. People from across the country, from across the world, they come over here, and it's one place where you get to see the tradition, the culture of all the different tribes. So there are 18 recognized tribes in Nagaland. So the word tribe in that sense is a misnomer, in the sense that I mean, it's not like when you're talking about the word tribe in certain other parts of the country, they as modern, if not more modern than most people in the country. So you get to experience all the culture in a single location. So, and the events and activities are spaced all over the 10 days, and that's sort of for someone who's new to Nagaland, they get to experience Nagaland in a nutshell over the period of 10 days. So that way, that's a very, very interesting festival to attend if someone's very interested in art and culture and learning about various people. In terms of traditions, I think one I'd already mentioned, very, very hospitable people. I mean, no matter, even if it's the first time you're visiting them, they ensure that they offer you something to eat, something to drink before you move away from the place. So extremely hospitable people. Uh, and also they're sort of an equal society. I mean, when you talk about so people. So if you look at a particular society, so if you have an honorable elected member, an MLA visiting a village, so he sort of he sort of gels well with everybody. I mean, there's no division of people in that sense. So the society is quite equal, and that's something that's very very heartening to note here. I mean, you don't see those class differences that do exist across in different parts of the country. That's pretty less here. So it's a very equitable society. That's what I'd say. Yeah.
So those are some unknown facts which must be brought to the limelight. I think it's a very new fact that even I've heard. It's, being an equal society is something so nice. Okay.
The Northeast as a whole, has been is far more equitable as a society than the rest of the country. From my experience, and I think a lot of people would agree with me in that sense.
Okay, glad to know. Okay, taking you back to the memory lane, I would like to ask you some memorable events from your college times.
I mean, so I think the entire 4 years been such a wonderful batch, amazing people. It's always about the peer group. I mean, my professors, getting to attend those lectures in the famed electrical building. I'm not sure if the building exists in the form it was back then, even now. So it's about that, all the college fests, and the first year we had people. So we had multiple sections, and people across departments were mixed into a single section. It's only from second semester that we happened to go into a particular departments. So I think the people, just the plethora of experiences over the 4 years. I can't single out a single experience. It's just amazing days and amazing people. Yeah.
Okay, who are your best friends?
So I think if you ask me, from my own department, I mean, two of them, Satya and Ashwin, both extremely good friends. I mean, plenty of other good friends as well. But then if you want me to single out, these guys would be my best friends, so to say. Yeah,
I'll put you on
both
draw.
touch of yeah.
All right. So I've got another questions like rapid fire questions. Okay, it's going to be
Sure.
engaging and informal. All right. So
All
if
right.
there was a secret IAS talent show, which skill of yours would you like to showcase to the people?
I think I'd like to sing,
Sing.
but
Okay.
please don't ask me to sing. Yeah.
Okay, you guessed the question. You get
Yeah.
ask you to sing.
No, please. I would risk it. I mean, don't want to scare the audience away. Maybe for another time.
Okay. What superpower would you like to have if you would want to make your job much more easier?
Superpower. I think the ability to understand what exactly the other person is thinking, the person in front of you.
Okay, wouldn't that land you in a lot of troubles if you know what the other person is thinking?
Yes, but then it's also, I mean, something that would make you far more empathetic, and
Okay.
empathy and compassion are qualities which are extremely essential for this job. So, given that you're dealing with a very large number of people on a daily basis, um, would sort of help you deliver more, because ultimately, it's about serving people and alleviating their issues. So, this is something that would really help. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So one friend, not two or more, one friend from college whom you would like to go to space with.
Just one friend. Who would I say? I think it'll be Satya.
Satya. All right. A professor whom you traumatized.
Traumatized. I don't think I traumatized anyone. I definitely don't think so. I was a decent student. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Which historical figure would you like to have a coffee with?
Historical figure. I think Ramana Maharishi.
Okay.
Yeah.
If not for IAS, what would have it been?
I would have been in finance, in the financial sector. My internship was with HSBC Markets, and I was working with a trading and derivatives trading firm prior to getting into the IS. So I think I would have been in the financial sector.
Okay. So you handled it like a pro. That's a wrap for your rapid fire questions also. Thank you so much, Thavaseelan. So we have the alumni event coming up on Jan 3rd and 4th, 2025. Do you have a message for the fellow alumni?
I mean, we've all been, we've been incredibly fortunate to be in a part of such a wonderful institution that's given us everything that we have in life, and I think giving back to the institution and mentoring juniors is something that's extremely critical. Something that it shouldn't be looked at it as a responsibility, but then something that we naturally have to take up. And I hope our fellow alumni keep flying the CG flag, keep it flying very, very high, and keep doing the institution proud. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Thavaseelan. Thank you so much for your time. Looking forward to meet you in person as well.
Thank you, Shweta. Same here. All the best. Please take care. Thank you.